Greetings, Tarnished, and welcome to another episode of Elden Dogs. That's right, Elden Dogs 51?
How many 51 times 7? What is that in dog years?
We are old dogs.
Yeah, we're old dogs.
These are old dogs. We have the full gray face,
I think it's,
which is what I really love to see in a dog.
I think it's 307.
Last night, Carly and I were walking back from the bar, went to Vanguard. It was amazing, 10 out of 10 experience. And then our neighbor was outside with their dog, and the dog came and said hi. And then our neighbor was out there with her little kid, and the little kid ran up and said hi to us. And she's like, I have a gerbil and 2 guinea pigs. And we're like, what? That's cool. We're just a little drunk. Just try to go home.
Yeah.
And then the lady's like, you want to see him? And I'm like, yeah. And then she was already holding the hamster or gerbil. And she's like, here, you want to hold it? I'm like, yeah. So all of a sudden, I'm just holding this little baby hamster named Blue at midnight, and I'm drunk. I'm like, I don't know what's going on right now. This is really weird to me. You never know what's going to happen in the lanes between, you know?
Yeah, it's all about the side quests.
It's all about, yes, that was actually a miniature giant space hamster.
That's terrifying then.
Just like in Baldur's Gate 3. My name is Sir Ansbach, and my beard is not part of my helmet. It is, in fact, a real beard. Oh, no, I brought up the beard.
Oh,
I didn't mean to, Tyler.
I'm Lady Freya, and I took role-playing a little bit too seriously this week, and I don't have a beard anymore.
Your hair is looking luxurious and long, but your lack of beard is weird to me.
It is. I have had a beard for 5 years, and...
No more.
No more. I haven't seen my chin since 5 years. Yeah. Me and my chin are not on good terms right now. I don't like him.
I don't like it either.
Someone took a photo of me, and it kind of looks like I have a butt chin, but I don't have the chiseled chin like Tom Brady, so it just looks bad.
Yeah, well, not everyone has the spice melange of Tom Brady.
Or the money to have plastic surgery. I think he got plastic surgery.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Freya and Ansbach, we are going to see WWE this week.
Yes, sir. SmackDown.
Who's wrestling? Do we know these things? Is that something they announce ahead of time?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns will be there.
Okay.
That was advertised. And LA Knight will be there. But then sounds like Jimmy and Jey Uso are also going to be there, which means the discount tribal chief Solo Sikoa might be there.
So I don't know any of these names other than Roman Reigns.
There you go. Cody Rhodes is like the big boy champ right now.
That's Goldust's son.
A nephew.
Either way.
Something like that.
Either way, I'm going to vicariously relive my love of Goldust.
Yeah.
Yep. That was my first introduction to serial killers. And he wasn't a serial killer, but as a kid, I'm like, that's what a serial killer looks like.
That guy's got bodies in his basement.
There's something going on with this guy. Yes, and we are both drinking a beer. We usually record earlier in the day, but Tyler was suffering from a vicious possible hangover this morning.
It was definitely a little bit of a hangover, but also I'm getting a little sick, I think.
So we're drinking the Armchair Quarterback Copper Lager from Three Sheeps Brewing. I do just love Three Sheeps. They are a fantastic brewery out of Sheboygan.
I think I'm going there next week or 2 weeks.
Big fan. And before we get into our topic today, Jagged Peak, just wanted to call out the fact that I finally received my Books of Knowledge Volume 3 strategy guide. This is the final one they're releasing, which is 3 full strategy guides for just Elden Ring. And this is all the DLC. There's a big, gorgeous map in there. This one's a little smaller than the other 2, but it kind of serves a purpose of the other 2 in that it covers all of the enemies, all of the areas, all of the side quests. So far, nothing too groundbreaking. I did just skim it, though. I haven't read it. But it was interesting to note that the Shadow Tree avatar is actually 3 separate avatars. And it's just one of those weird things that it's never said anywhere, but the guide's like, nope, this is 3 separate avatars. And I trust it. Some people on Reddit try and say this isn't canon. And I'm like,
I feel like it's the most canon thing possible.
Yeah.
It's the book.
It's the book. It's from the company. They provided them the assets, the materials.
And it's a nice looking book too.
It's great. It's so good. Yeah. And Tyler just received his as well.
Yes, sir.
But we're going to talk about the Jagged Peak today. We're going to talk about our flying friends, the dragons. We're going to start, before we go there, at the Elder's Hovel. Now, this is not in the Jagged Peak area, but it provides a great view of the Jagged Peak. And the spirit there says, "O Bayle, tyrant Drake, do your wounds yet ache? Is your fury still yet to crest its zenith? Hurry, hurry, and lay it all the way." So this dude is hot for Bayle.
Yeah, he's waiting for him.
He might be a trumper.
In this universe is Bayle Trump.
Like, burn it all down, dude. Lay waste to the proud, the conceited, each every last one of that arrogant lot.
So this guy's just having a real bad day. And something broke the camel's back. And now he's over the edge.
You know, I don't know what the spirit's got against other dragons, but we're going to learn a lot more about Bayle and Placidusax and Assax and Buttsax. Buttsax is my favorite dragon. You get the Talisman of the Dread here as well. It's a talisman depicting the dread dragon of the Jagged Peak, whose roars cause the peak's molten fury to boil and churn. His roars are causing like all of that shit to go down, so that's exciting. This raises the potency of magma spells and skills by 15%. Bayle was the foul dragon's name, a terrible harbinger of destruction whose challenge to the ancient dragon lord ended in grievous mutual injury. Never get in a bar fight. Everyone loses.
Yeah, it doesn't make you look cooler.
Nope.
In fact, you just pissed me off because I'm a bartender.
I got home, I was missing my leg, and I had two dudes' heads stuck to my back.
Were you playing as the Dirge?
No, that could happen there as well, though. Yeah.
Bayle is also a badass name for a dragon.
Or for hay. Sorry. We're cooking today, folks. You take the next one.
Okay. Or
we'll go like kind of back and forth a little bit.
The suppressing pillar, the very center of the lands between, which I didn't know until I just read that, but it makes sense.
Yep, that giant pillar. This is above where you enter like that pit to get down to the Jagged Peak. Just it explicitly says it's the very center of the lands between, which is cool. It's cool that it confirms like this is in the center of the entire map above the water.
Yeah, when you get here, there's one of those little coin press things where you can put a penny in and it'll stamp it with Bayle on it.
51 runes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just so that you have a keepsake to take home with you.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do kitschy shit for like the giant ball of yarn. Like, you got to do stuff like that.
It's very profitable. It costs 50 cents and all someone's doing is manually cranking it and they're just getting a penny.
Yeah. You're making 49% profit because that's how that works.
I don't know if your math holds up, Tyler.
All manner of death wash up here, only to be suppressed. On clear weather, when the weather's clear, the top of the suppressing pillar provides the best preview of all the regions of the realm of shadow. You'll find an ancient dragon smithing stone here. If you're Brad, if you're me, you probably walked right by it.
Well, Tyler, Freya, you need to explore more. You're so obsessed with just figuring out what happened to Radon, you're not smelling the Fulgur blooms.
No, I'm not. My problem with the entirety of Shadow of the Erd Tree, and I really look forward to a replay with my other character that's like halfway through the base game.
Yeah.
Is actually exploring. I feel like I'm beelining it too much in this one.
Well, you need to put aside your job, put aside your passions, and only have the one passion. Elden Ring. It worked for me.
I'm just gonna call in sick like 5 days in a row.
Do it. I support you. They're gonna hear this man who everyone has a fondness for, named Igon. Igon is on the ground screaming in pain, and he's missing his leg. Usually, you don't see this until like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
This is common. Actually, he was in a house the other day. And the guy was missing an arm just cursing at someone. It wasn't a dragon. I think it was his meth dealer. But he's screaming, "The pain, my arms, my legs, each lies a bloody ruin." Every time Bayle speaks, it is an exclamation point, too. Just so everyone knows, it's always...
There are two people on the face of the planet that speak in nothing but exclamation points. Bayle and Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Not Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan from WCW. They had to change his gimmick.
Fuck Hogan.
I don't like Hogan either.
Brooke Hogan gets a pass. I can't believe I remember her name even.
Yeah, that was good. That was clutch.
I used to watch that show when I was a stupid man.
Is that Hogan Knows Best?
Fuck, I don't know,
I think
man.
that's the name of the show.
Hogan zeros. Yes, the pain, the exquisite pain. Bayle, vile Bayle, O terror incarnate, there is life in me yet. I will soon feast upon your heart. Mark my words, you too shall know fear. Okay, he's got some piss in his blood. Is that what they say? His piss is hot. His piss is hot. This is the Mike LaFleur of NPCs.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur. That's Mike?
You said Mike, I think.
Oh, the Matt LaFleur of NPCs. And he says, please no more. I am sorry. I repent. Come no closer. Oh, the horror. Please savage me no further. He's missing a leg and still saying, I'm going to come and fuck you up, which that takes an energy, you know?
That is definitely somebody you want to avoid. That person holds grudges.
Yeah. That's the kind of guy that it would take 5 police officers to stop him.
Or one Nate.
Yes. If Nate was there, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Actually, Nate's probably the closest we can have to Igon. He's just too many legs. Just up the way here, you'll also find an ancient dragon man. This is our first time running into one of these folks. This is a weaker version of another boss coming soon. But the dragon men, this is when the ancient dragons could take a mortal form, where they could. This is possibly how. It's been a while. Vike, who was potentially in love with Granciax, maybe she went to mortal human-ish form at one point, and they went bound chicka bound wow.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's some speculation on that, but the ancient dragons can take a mortal form, which is kind of cool.
I think it's my favorite little piece of lore that George R. R. Martin has put in here, because ideally George R. R. Martin, I think, wants to be a dragon. Like, that's overall like what he wants. But I love the idea of dragons being able to take human form. And it's almost kind of like a little bit like Final Fantasy 16, where you have these people who are icons and they can transform into these giant monsters or beings.
Yeah.
But like the rest of the time, they're just walking around and like you would have no idea.
Yeah.
Imagine getting into a bar fight and all of a sudden like Bayle shows up. You're like, fuck, this guy's a dragon.
Yeah. And I wonder is this like Animorphs rules, where when Bayle transforms to a human, does he get a leg?
No, I think it carries over.
Okay. If you head south down this path here, you'll find the Herbalist Bell Bearing. You can shoot that down. And this allows you to purchase rata fruits for crafting various flesh, livers, turtlenecks, and spirit raisins. Yep, it's one of those weird things. There's a pot that just has a recipe in it and shoot it down. That's how things work here. You don't go to the store and buy a recipe book. You find them in pots in the wild.
And I was disappointed that it wasn't the Rock's turtleneck, that it was an actual turtleneck.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
And it's a solo piece of chest armor.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be awesome, honestly. I'd wear it.
Yep. The ancient rock dragon wore this with necklaces of gold in his early days, where he curled his not bald head.
Next up, you will enter the dragon pit.
Dragon pit. That's pretty good.
Which is also what I call my living room when Frank has got the zoomies.
Oh, you're in the pit now, boys.
I'm in the pit.
Yeah.
You got skeletons and giant beast skeletons. Beastmen of Fara Missoula.
Yep.
Look at them making an entrance again.
Yeah, they like to hang out with the dragons.
These are a well-traveled bunch.
Yeah, I mean, they're either up high or they got lost and they're in a cave. And this is our first time running into them here in the Realm of Shadow.
Yep, and if you will recall your jaunt to the Altus Plateau, you might remember fighting a giant magma worm.
I'm so sick of these fuckers.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
And here we got a lesser magma worm. Lesser, I feel like, is doing him a disservice because he whooped my ass quite a bit.
At some point, you're either a magma worm or you're not. And
yeah.
It's like Magma Worm Jr., it's still a magma worm.
It's been a long time since I fought the one on the way to Altus Plateau, but if I recall, the movesets are kind of similar because I didn't have like a terrible time. I think my atrophy just kind of got to me in this fight. But honestly, nice warm-up boss if you've played the game a whole bunch and have had a break.
Yeah, and it's nice that it's optional. I was struggling more than I wanted to, and I just at one point I'm like, I'll come back.
I got him done.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little little badge of honor for me.
Little badge.
You'll get an ancient dragon smithing stone. Can never have too many of these.
No, you can't.
Literally. There's only a few.
Makes me sad.
Another boss that you'll run into is the Ancient Dragon Man, formerly a dragon communion warrior. The Ancient Dragon Man was once an arbiter of those worthy to devour the dreaded one.
He's kind of gatekeeping. He's like, you want to go and try and eat my boy Bayle? Got to get through me.
Yeah, and that's a homie you want.
Yeah. If someone wants to eat you, Tyler, they have to kill me first.
And that's why we're
But if they
friends.
do, I'm like, you're worthy. Go for it, dog.
I'm like, damn, you killed Brad? I'm upset about this.
Yeah. And then Nate's there cussing at you for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, Nate, I'm not the reason you lost your leg, man.
Curse you, Tyler!
The Ancient Dragon Man bears the appearance of a human being, having taken the form of a small bipedal stony dragon, through the use of a rock heart.
Yep.
I gotta actively stop myself from doing wrestler references.
Oh, yeah. Slam into a rock hard.
You can find a Dragon Hunter's Great Katana.
One of the three. Every time I see a great katana, an angel gets its wings.
And a Great Katana is, honestly, with my experience, the weapon you got to use in the DLC. I keep bouncing between the twin axes and...
Yeah, you do like your twin axes.
I do like the twin axes.
It looks cool.
Plus, it kind of scales with my build, and I don't want to respec.
Yeah.
Because I only have one larval tier for some reason. Because it's my first character, and I respec'd about 87 times. Because I was like, no, I want to do a strength build.
Nah.
And then I lose to one boss, and I'm like, back to a dex build. The Great Katana, with spines of gravel stone along its blade, wielded by the Ancient Dragon Man of the Dragon's Pit, has an anti-dragon effect, deals plus 30% to dragon types and plus 15% to ancient dragon types. You can also find, its unique skill is the Dragon Wound Slash, designed to hunt down colossal dragons. This skill cloaks the armament with a jagged gravel stone aura before performing a high leaping slash. Charge the attack to also fire off the aura.
It's clutch, getting a little bit of range when you're fighting dragons because they fly around. They're very mobile. We have an upcoming battle where I exclusively am like, I'm using this weapon now, and then I immediately dropped it afterwards because it's not my preferred great katana. I like the plain one I can just spice it up however I want.
Yeah.
But this one against dragons specifically it's pretty powerful.
Deals 20% more damage towards both dragons and ancient dragons.
The Dragon Wound Slash does. Very cool. Very cool. And you're going to need it right away because up ahead, we're finding a Jagged Peak Drake. These are large dragons said to have come from the bloodline of Bayle and in turn have inherited his power to conjure flame lightning. Straight ahead, there is going to be an ancient dragon. We're not going to talk about her quite yet, but we're going to grab Igon's cookbook right here. You can make Dragon Communion Grease, which is a 28% damage boost against ancient dragons, and the Communion Harpoon, which is a consumable item throw to inflict damage with a boost to dragons. These harpoons can be found on the ancient dragon as well. But we're going to come back and talk about the dragon in a second, because first we're going over to Charo's Hidden Grave, which we probably could have done a little like a mini episode just on this area, but we're going to go through this area before we go back to the dragon stuff. Who is Charo, you might say? Is that like a little Latin lady with like a really old face? You know who I'm talking about?
No, because I misread it as churro.
I prefer churro.
Yeah.
Churro's Hidden Grave sounds like a dope ass, like it has a D rating on the restaurant, but the food is fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you probably have somebody in there that does not speak English.
Nope. And they're not even old enough to work there.
Nope. And you just point at the picture taken in 1995 on the menu that's all faded, and you're like, that one. And then it's the best food you've ever had.
And they bring you a pitcher of margaritas.
Yep.
Charo, I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably based on Charon, the mythological Greek boatman. Charon, however you want to say it.
Oh, yeah. The guy who like carted the souls across the river Styx.
Yes. I believe definitely associated with Tibia Mariners, could be the progenitor. I believe this area is probably where the Tibia Mariners started. This is close to where we find all of the coffins for the Cerulean coast. And the realm of shadow, like all manners of death wash up here. I think that Charo is probably associated with that. All of the boats are here as well, so I imagine they must be related. The Tibia Mariners, just a quick talk about them. Funeral pyres are seen throughout the land of shadow. This is most likely an alternative burial method since they can't access the roots of the Erd tree.
I never even thought about that.
Can't get at the roots here. Tibia, but somehow Godwyn the Golden, somehow his undead fucking fish ass is still crawling up into here. That guy can't be stopped.
That dude cannot die.
Yep. If you have a problem, like you need like a pest exterminator to get rid of Godwyns. Because if they get in your house, they're like cockroaches.
Yeah, if you see one Godwyn, you have millions.
I opened up an old cabinet in the bathroom the other day. Haven't opened it in a while. There's a fucking full fish Godwyn in there.
Yeah, and that's...
And some lady was hugging people, and I was like, what is going on in my bathroom?
And it's always so jarring when you see one. It's like, God damn, fuck. Gotta clean that.
Where is that your face? Yes, the Tibia Mariners were the first of all gravekeepers in the lands between. They beckon those lost in death by blowing into their hollow oars. Are they responsible for summoning the dead to the land of shadow? Maybe, maybe not. I'm sure Vati will make an hour-long video about it.
And I can't wait.
And at the end of it, I'm still going to say, probably, but maybe not, because we just don't know, dude. There is a symbol on the boats resembling the sideways 8, infinity, the cycle, life and death, Buddhism, fucking nihilism, Trump won, all those good things. We're all going to die. Members of Mesmer's crusade seems to be honoring or revering the mariners here in some way. That's because when you see the boats are put in places of honor in the Shadowkeep. They slowly resurface in the lands between when Godwyn the Golden's deathblight began leaking throughout the world. Yep, there he is. Yeah, but you find a Gravekeeper's Cookbook 2 here, and then we do fight a Tibia Mariner. That the cookbook is a record of their crafting techniques, and this allows you to make the Call of Tibia consumable, an ancient ceremonial tool that uses a Gravekeeper's skull as a catalyst. The dead have long been left to wander. What they need is leadership. Yeah, and then I just went down a rabbit hole when I was making this because the items used to create it are fun. The Gravekeeper's brain pan. The old Gravekeepers are boatsmen and continue to summon the dead even after withering away. You need a grave cricket. Cricket that produces a raspy cry. Must be smoking some cigarettes or something. Cricket. Mainly found near stone coffins, the sound of these crickets are often taken to be the rustling of the restless dead, and sometimes the sound of their calling voices.
If you can't find a grave cricket, you can just use Rickety Cricket from Always Sunny.
Yep.
That'll work just as well.
Shave a little piece off.
Yeah, just a little slice.
Because it's festering already. And the grave crickets can also be used to craft polterstones, which is a contrivance of the gravekeepers made from spirit gravestones. It creates noises imitative of human presence where it lands when thrown. Said to have been used by the solitary gravekeepers to distract themselves from their longing for company. That's some sad shit. Just throw down a little thing that says, hey there. And you just listen to it and you don't feel like crying anymore to sleep. It's like when you leave the TV on at night to go to bed.
Yeah, or you play The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
You still do?
All the time. Always and forever.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you liked them.
Yeah, it's a little known fact people don't know about me.
My Chemical Romance are like the Tibia Mariners for young goths.
They are.
They blow their horn and everyone just like, they come swarming there.
Yeah, and the horn is just a G note. It's just one lone G note.
Bing!
And every emo boy in the world is like, what? My people are calling me. I must go.
My people. You can also get the Sorcery Rings of Spectral Light. It's a death sorcery. Sorcery practiced by the keepers of the spirit graves where all death ultimately drifts. This creates rings of spectral light that fire in unison. Same qualities as Ghost Flame, and they'll deal magic damage, also causing frost buildup. Conjure 6 lemniscate lights behind the caster, which shoots his projectiles. Very long distance. Very cool. There's not a lot of death sorcery, so I'm always down.
We will also fight a Deathrite bird.
Fuck these guys.
These guys suck. You can get an Ash of War Ghost Flame Call. It's got cold affinity, swords for swords and spears, thrust out armament to summon Ghost Flame, follow up with the normal attack to set the ground ablaze with Ghost Flame, or strong attack to trigger a massive explosion.
I like Cold Affinity.
Yeah, I use it a lot on Milady. But now I'm kind of a great katana boy.
Yeah. Everyone figures out what life's about sometime.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
it's great katanas.
Remember when I said that the DLC was easy? I'm getting to the point where it's not. In fact, I'm well past it. This is a very hard game.
It's funny to me you still haven't beaten Radahn. The longer you wait, the worse it's going to get because they're going to patch it to be more balanced.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe they're going to patch out the cheese methods, I should say.
Hey.
It's more balanced now. I beat him pre-nerf, which is like, I'm going to wear that badge forever. It only cost me like 2 controllers and my sanity.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of fighting Radahn in the base game when both, was it the first time they patched him and made him super easy? And then I beat him and then they patched him again. I was like, well, I'm not going back there.
Bye.
You can find a Greater Potentates Cookbook number 14.
It's 14
if you're keeping track.
Yeah, Betty Crocker's got nothing on the Greater Potentates, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, no way. Martha Stewart, get out of here.
Hi, and welcome to Greater Potentates Cooking.
Bang!
Bang! We're going to put some of that hot sauce right in the jar. Bang!
Bang!
Now, you put a little shaman in there, you make a nice little undead thing that's going to scare you.
You're going to want to let that marinate in season for about 2 to 4 weeks.
Get in the fucking jar, lady.
You can craft a hefty rancor pot, throw this bad boy at enemies to spawn a throng of vengeful spirits that chase down foes. In times of old, the dead were burned with ghost flame, and from those cinders arose vengeful spirits.
I like that you can throw a pot of vengeful spirits at someone.
Yeah, it's like throwing a pot of curses at someone. Like the pot hits them and it's just like, fuck you.
Yeah. That's what Twitter is. Which
X.
I think we're leaving.
I wouldn't be surprised. I have never been on X.
Well, I don't think the Dogcast needs it anymore.
Yeah, no.
Convince us if you're listening, if you want us to stay. Otherwise, I'm really ready to just be done with it.
The only reason I ever get on X is to read Skip Bayless's posts when the Cowboys are playing, because that man loves the Cowboys more than anything, and the Cowboys suck, and he loses his mind.
They were not looking good today.
No.
Or any day.
Which I'm okay with. This is totally fine. Yeah, then guess what? It's Hippopanama time.
You give him all the easy ones.
Hippopotamus.
Yeah, there's the other hippopotamuses around. I guess they run around.
I don't like these things. I was hoping there would just be one.
Give me these all day instead of furnace golems.
Well, spoiler alert, you get next to furnace golem. You can pick up Glowwort Crystal Tear here. The duration's going to last for 3 minutes, and it gives you a buff of a 7.5% summon damage.
Useless.
Yeah. Give me double digits if you want me to pay attention.
I don't really fuck around with my tiers. I don't think I've changed them like maybe more than once since I started the DLC, and I've been through the thing 3 times now.
Mimic all day, every day.
Well, that's a different thing.
Oh, yeah. That's my Mimic tier. Yeah.
This Furnace Golem is also one, though, that you do. It sucked the first time, but once you figure out where to go, because you just spirit spring up, and then you're just like shooting some basketball pots into the top. That is fun after you figure it out.
You can get a Spirit Ash, the Grave Bird Ashes. The spirit of an old golem and a spirit gravekeeper who flies with stone wings and spouts ghost flame. According to legend, the grave birds were crafted to be kindred to the death birds.
Yep.
So they're distant cousins.
And most Spirit Ashes that fly around are great because enemies are not designed to fight flying things. They're designed to fight standing tarnished. So they're generally more effective because those guys are stupid. They don't know how to fight them. Now, one of the best or worst little jails is right here. The Lamenter's Jail. This is the most multiple winding fall through areas. It's intertwined. It's up and down, and it is a confusing dungeon jail. Lots of living jars, giant rats, some Mesmer foot soldiers. Here you will find the prattling pate lamentation. Amidst a blissful lamentation, the voice resounds, seeping into the brain, weeping, 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 ever weeping.
Me after most of my bartending shifts.
America over the next 4 years. What's a tariff? We got them. We showed those Democrats. Yes, you'll find in here the torch, the lamenting visage. This is sick. This thing is the coolest torch. It's Mimir from God of War. A stone lantern carved to resemble a lamenting human head. The eyes vacantly beaming out light, and you like hold it up to like shine it at things.
Didn't God of War do this before they went Nordic? Wasn't your flashlight a separate head?
You could get Medusa heads.
Yeah.
And you could hold it up to like petrify.
Yeah, that's cool.
Can be raised when equipped in the left hand, illustrating more of the surrounding area. The unusual expression somehow imparts a sense of contentment, the languid ease of one who needs not sight. When you're dead, you don't worry about things as much anymore.
Yeah, a lot does not matter.
Yeah. When raised, it also acts as a shield that can block attacks against it, which also allows you to use guard counter. And its poor defensive stats, however, only make this useful in emergencies. The unique skill is the blindfold of happiness. You swing the head back and forth while covering the eyes, unleashing a wail of lamentation from your fucking torch, while temporarily making the user of the skill harder to see. To those who seek happiness, blindness is bliss.
Whoever created this torch, I hope they got a raise from software.
This is like, I don't want to get 18 inches of mesmer. I don't want to buy Millennia's arm. I kind of do. But if I could buy like the lamenting visage and it was also a nightlight and I could like flip it on and off or something.
That'd be so dope.
That'd be sick. And the alarm in the morning, it goes, oh! Get out of bed. It's fucking 4 a.m. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. Lot in here. You get a talisman, the clarifying horn charm +2. This raises your focus by 230. You get a chilling perfume bottle, cold perfume. But the boss here is the Lamenter. This is a gimmick puzzly boss. The Lamenter is a boss that is smaller than the usual bosses you encounter in the game. It's an agile boss that relies on the use of its clones to deceive and confuse the player. The clones die in one hit, but hitting the clones will not damage the real Lamenter. So he disappears, summons 10 of himself.
Love it.
I didn't hate it at all. The Lamenter's curse. If you do not kill all of the clones, the curse activates, summoning a ring of floating heads around the player. Each clone remaining will add 1 to the counter. If 7 heads are active, the player falls to their knees, covering their head, and die instantly.
That is just cruel.
I like it.
I like it from
It's very one-off, which is weird.
Yeah. It's pretty badass, but anything that kills me instantly, it pisses me off.
Luckily, it's not too difficult of a battle. Defeating the Lamenter gets you a tool, the Lamenter's Mask, which allows you to you transform into a Lamenter, like an omen. It's a stone mask twisted into an expression of rapturous grief. If you're completely naked, you use it, you put it on your face like Jim Carrey's The Mask, and then you turn into a Lamenter.
Love it.
You can ride horses, you can travel to the Round Table Hold, you can talk with people, and they don't act weird about it.
Just Tyler's wearing the mask again.
But it's also your entire body changes. And it's crazy because the change cannot be undone except by death, and using the mask while already transformed causes the head to swell in size. It's big head mode.
Yes.
Just like a normal NBA Jam thing from the SNES.
I love it.
It tallies with the state of a denizen of paradise, but the people of the tower denied and hid it from the world. In their foolishness, they viewed true bliss with deep fear. So yeah, the Lamenter was locked up for being too happy and weird for them. They're like, we're worried about what you're up to, and we're going to lock you away because we don't understand why you're happy.
Yeah, well, it's like that in real life too. Have you ever met somebody that's just like obnoxiously happy? Like I'm in a good mood most of the time, but then you meet someone who's just like all smiles, and it's like you are just there's deep pain in you.
They're hiding something.
Yeah, there's something. There's no light behind your eyes.
I do not trust you. This increases your arcane by 8. It grants a 5% damage negation to all types of damage except holy, which gets 20%. Your sleep and madness resistances are decreased by 50. All other resistances increase by 30. And reduces your flask effect by 9%. It's a thing.
I'd use it.
It's fun to fuck around with because it's not permanent.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the giant dragon and the Legend of Bayle.
Mama Dragon?
Mama Dragon. This is... I've seen videos that talk about how big this dragon is, and it's big. I believe this is much bigger than the mother dragon we see in Caelid.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. And they say that dragon was the mother of all dragons, and I think what it might be is those dragons were the offspring of Placidusax, and this dragon here, I think, is the mother of all of Bayle's children, the lesser drakes.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That's my thought. It's interesting. There is a giant sword shaft, or like a spear, inside of this giant dragon. I rode up it today, and it's huge, and it makes you think of a couple things. Who used a weapon that large? I watched a video about this too. I don't know if it was Bonfire VN or if I don't get it right, I'm sorry. But they extrapolated the part of the weapon you see because it was broken off, and like how big the sword would need to be for someone to use it, and that's like bigger than the flame giant on top of the mountaintops. This is the giant Caelid heads, those ones that grow in the mountain. It's that big, and this is probably like that civilization that's also involved with the smithing. But yeah, it's interesting. This happened, I believe, a long time ago.
Yeah, and again, it's one of my favorite things about George. I don't know how much it is George R.R. Martin, but all of his content that I've ingested, he is a master at letting your brain kind of run wild when he gives you just a few details about the land before or the world before.
Yep.
Especially with Game of Thrones. Like, he just hints at shit, and you're like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a whole Brienne chapter in Feast for Crows about a local legend of this like witch who keeps a bunch of heads that talk to her in a cave. And Brienne's like, that's not even real, I bet. And the guy's like, oh, it is real, Brienne. And this is like 2 chapters where nothing happens relevant to the story other than Brienne being like looking for a false lead. Good stuff. Yeah, but this dragon also has this carved out chest cavity. So someone went in there heart chopping.
Or escaping the cold that doesn't exist because it's kind of hot up here.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
The Legend of Bayle. Bayle is a legendary black dragon and the ancestor of the drakes and lesser dragons. Bayle betrayed the ancient dragons and clashed with Dragon Lord Placidusax.
He said, no, fuck you.
Yeah, that would have been a cool battle to see.
We see the repercussions. We finally know why Placidusax is missing a couple heads.
Yeah, Bayle's nothing to turn your nose up at.
Yeah.
Their vicious battle ended in a stalemate and left both dragons with horrible injuries and the loss of body parts. With Bayle losing his 2 winged arms,
He's got nubs.
yeah, and his pair of wings on his back and his left leg. So he came out pretty rough.
Yeah. You don't go with the king. This is like trying to go up against McCready in The Thing.
Yeah.
He's the king.
You're not going to win.
Yeah, except he wouldn't lose anything. He wouldn't lose anything, and you would die. You just die.
So after the stalemate, Bayle was sent fleeing back to the Jagged Peak. As a punishment for his betrayal, Placidusax created the art of dragon communion, sending his followers to shepherd humanity into hunting Bayle and his descendants. The dragon hunters consumed their hearts in order to gain their power. It's like these guys never give up a grudge.
Well, this is profound story stuff. We learn the origins of dragon communion right here. all of those churches that are scattered around the lands between, where we've been eating hearts and just partying. Turns out Placidusax had this institution created specifically for people to go hunt down and fuck with Bayle and Bayle's kin.
And you fucked up hard when someone literally creates a religion designed to kill you.
Yeah.
Like that's you're attacking people's beliefs now.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty heavy metal. Bayle was then pursued by Florisax, a servant of Placidusax.
Brother to Buttsax.
Brother to Buttsax, who sought to recruit mortals in the hunt for Bayle. Dragon Slayer Igon,
my boy.
Particularly obsessive Drake Warrior, was one such mortal that was cast to hunt Bayle.
Yeah. I don't know how you get into Dragon Communion, but I think it's like once you buy a bike and get one leather jacket, it's like, I guess I'm just a bike guy now.
It's the same way you get into LARPing. You never really realize how you get there until you're arguing with a 12-year-old. You're like, you're down an arm, I hit you. He saw it.
It's too late to turn back at that point.
Yeah, you're just here now.
It just escalates so fast. Yeah, Florisax is that pretty dragon lady right there. And it's cool getting to meet her. Now, this takes us to the Grand Altar of Dragon Communion, where Florisax, the Dragon Communion priestess, hangs out. A lot of information on her. Ancient dragon who serves as a loyal servant to her master, Dragon Lord Placidusax. When Bayle the Dread, ancestor to all drakes, infamously turned against Placidusax, the two engaged in a great battle, ending in a stalemate, grievous injuries, and Bayle fled here to the Realm of Shadow. Furious by this, Dragon Communion was created. Then Florisax, during her time as a humanoid priestess, she would share the practice of Dragon Communion to the entire world. She is the one spreading the religion. Like peanut butter all over the bread that is the lands between.
I was going to go with Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid, but yours is a much nicer analogy.
And instead of Kool-Aid, it would be dragon blood.
And I actually think it wasn't Kool-Aid.
If someone gave me a cup of dragon blood, I might drink it.
I'd be tempted.
I was like, maybe. Hippopotamus blood, get that shit away from me.
No, that's too salty.
Dragon blood is, I think, the only blood that I would readily, I'd probably take a sip.
Why not? It's the power of dragons.
It reminds me of Wild Boys when they were just like, all right, we're just drinking blood today with this tribe in Africa.
Dude, MTV was on a roll for a while.
Yeah. My coworker and I were talking about Robin Big. I don't know why. We were talking about Bobby Light.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And I listened to that song. We pulled it up on YouTube, and it's been stuck in my head. Dirty Girl.
Oh, man. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Don't listen to it. Yep. So she's spreading the Dragon Communion. She would travel to the land, the Realm of Shadow herself to pursue Bayle the Dread, and came to reside here at the Grand Altar of Dragon Communion in front of the corpse. Through the influence of the priestesses, though it had waned over time, and the purpose has been long forgotten of Dragon Communion, Florisax continues to recruit mortals to hunt Bayle to ensure his downfall. During that time, she would come to know the broken Drake warrior Igon for his endless hunger and fiery ambition. While residing in the Realm of Shadow, she would sacrifice her sleep for her lord as part of her servitude. All I can say is get fucked. I am never sacrificing my sleep for anyone. Dude, I'm into like a lot of things and a lot of people, but I will never give up any sleep for that. Sorry, I got worked up.
You get passionate about it.
Sleep is important. In return, Placidusax would give Florisax his favor, but will not hesitate to abandon her if she breaks her pledge. Dude, let her sleep. Don't be a dick. Now I'm on Bayle's side.
Flip-flop.
About Igon, she says, I remember that name well. Driven by bottomless hunger and fiery ambition. Precisely what the Dragon Lord envisaged for men who partake in Dragon Communion. The mad hunger and fierceness of spirit that only flows from those young and short of sight. Man, just go easy on the guy.
He's young and dumb, and we love him.
His father he rather reminds me of Bayle, in fact. Such thoughts are unfathomable to ones as old as we. So Bayle was kind of like a young hotshot talking shit above his pay grade, but I mean, Jesse James was shot by the coward Robert Ford, right? Was it Robert Ford?
I don't know. It was Casey Affleck.
Shot by the coward Casey Affleck.
It's Casey Affleck.
Brad Pitt just went and looked out the window for fucking 2 hours and they shot him and called it a movie.
Ah, what a good fucking movie, though.
It was good.
I love that.
Here you can also get the Draconic Essence. An Ancient Dragon's Blessing. Once consumed for 15 FP, it will boost your damage negation by 10% for all types for 70 seconds. Go pick it up before you go to a big boss battle and pop it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
We will reach the Jagged Peak Drake duel.
This sucks.
This sucks.
This one sucks, dude. You agree, right?
Yes.
This one fucking sucks. I'm not into it.
You can get the Dragon Scale Flesh, a rare consumable dropped by Jagged Peak Drakes. Boosts vigor, stamina, strength, and dexterity at cost of gradual HP loss for 90 seconds.
We gotta slow down. Let's talk about this duel here.
Results last longer than 4 hours, please seek a doctor.
There's a class action lawsuit against him right now.
Yes.
Did you have Dragon Scale Flesh? You might be entitled to compensation. This duel, man, two big dragons are at each other's throats.
I hate when they throw two at me. Like when you fight the golem and instead of his second phase, you just get a second golem. It's like, at least then I had half a fight where I only had to fight one of them.
Yeah.
Not this time.
It's weird. I've tried multiple strategies. Usually it's like I get fucked because you're in the middle of two dragons fighting, and it's not like they both turn when they see you. They still want to fucking kill each other, but they also, if you're getting in the way, they want to fucking. It's the three-way battle. It's not like 2-on-1 ever.
And with my mimic tier, it feels like it's just kind of cool. Like now there's two of me, there's two of you, but it's actually two different ones.
I've tried hiding and just letting them try and kill each other, but also I want to get them down to both low health and then go in where they're still distracted by the other one. I struggled at this fight more than a lot of other fights.
And I have the same problem that I had in the Bayle fight, or pretty much, and Mesmir definitely had this problem, is when you lock on, tracking gets so fucking hard because they're so fast.
Yeah.
And like with Bayle being as big as he is, like when they move over you, your orientation is just fucked. Like you have no idea I just end up button mashing, which you're not supposed to do in this game. Every strike has to be deliberate.
I watched a YouTube video where they tried to. It was like things you're doing wrong with combat in Elden Ring, and one of the things was quit locking on to enemies ever. By locking on, it kind of makes your actions become a little more rigid, and whereas if you're not, you can like do a lot of like last minute turns and adjustments. And when you're locked on trying to fight something that moves fast and like overhead like a dragon, the camera starts fighting you. Yeah. Whereas instead of you controlling what you're seeing and what you're attacking at, it was a very good argument. And it also said never dodge, always jump. 90% of the time, jumping is going to give you like more frames and you're going to dodge more attacks.
The Drake duel.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm straight up not having a good time.
We're not having fun now.
It makes me question if I've ever had fun in this game.
Beating him.
It's like
there's a moment of accomplishment. I don't know if it's a moment of fun. It's a moment of. It's like when Walter White blows up Tuco's hideout and gets the money. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is going to be a tough time for you if you get here. Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch.
This is the Thunderdome, which I've never actually seen. I should watch that.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
You can get Igon's Cookbook, #2.
It says, step 1, fuck Bayle. Step 2, I hate you, Bayle. Step 3, add eggs.
Add eggs. Lightly toss.
Curse Bayle for 5 minutes. Step 2, acquire ingredients.
Press the garlic. Fuck you, Bayle.
Fuck Bayle. If you're listening along at home, fuck you, Bayle.
Contains details on how a mere mortal can fell a mighty dragon. So you open up the book thinking you're going to make a nice Eggs Benedict or something. Yeah, and he's just like, have you ever beaten a fucking dragon? This is how you do it.
How to kill an unholy large menace. Fuck you, Bayle.
You can craft the Dragon Communion Flesh. It boosts vigor, stamina, strength, and dexterity, all at the cost of a gradual HP loss. A limitation on dragon scale flesh created by human hands used to sate the hunger of Drake warriors, if only briefly. I do like the whole dragon communion angle of things because like you eat the hearts and it's all very like metal and like sinister. So the idea that you just like pop some like if you were gonna fight a dude, you're like, hold on, let me pop some human beef jerky real quick.
You pull out a finger and you start eating it.
That dude's not gonna fight you.
I second guess myself, anyways. After the battle with these drakes, Igon shows up. Bear in mind, he doesn't have a leg. This dude crawled all the way up here.
I had a horse, I barely made it.
Yeah. Granted, we did most of the fighting and he was just behind us.
Yeah, we just cleared the way for you, bud.
He goes, what a sight. A warrior true if ever one there was. A fellow Drake warrior. Igon, piteous Igon, do you not remember? Remember how cool you were? Oh, I used to get laid.
If Coach would have put me in fourth quarter, we would have been state champs.
Dude, I could have thrown it so much better than fucking Todd. When fear was yet foreign to ye, remember how strong you were before you were afraid. Ah, Drake warrior, dear friend, grant me this one wish. Take this finger. Take my finger.
It's his middle finger.
You fucking know he's like,
You take this one.
You hold it up at Bayle. He says, scale the peak, face Bayle the Dread, and when you do, summon me. Summon my soul. My limbs are limbs no more. My heart is twice overfilled with fear. But a Drake warrior I remain, and my soul yet lies on the mountain. And then he gives you Egon's furled middle finger. Proud Drake warrior, I beg of you, scale the peak, face Bayle the Dread, summon me, summon my soul.
Egon is like the perfect Stranger Things new season character where like he just shows up all of a sudden and you don't really know much about him, but they flesh him out so quickly and he's such a cool character.
He's my favorite character.
Because like I see why people like him so much because like everybody can kind of relate to like, oh yeah, when I was young and dumb and like full of all this energy and I thought I was going to be world famous or president or something. And then you're in your 30s and you're like, I'm hungover and my beard is gone.
I don't feel like I have legs today.
Yes. It's hard to get out of bed.
It also his just pure anger.
Yes.
And some people have good yells and some people don't. I just watched a Lindsay Ellis video describing all of the different iterations of the Wicked Witch of the West. And Mila Kunis's witch is very bad. Because all she does is scream, but it's not a cool scream.
No.
Egon, great scream. The voice actor said, like, yes, I'm an actor, and I came in, and they had me scream very loud and very long, and the one-day thing, in and out.
Easiest paycheck ever.
Just so good. Some of the best screaming you'll ever hear. He was once a poor scavenger of battlefields. He found honor in the ancient art of communion, whereby hunters consumed their hearts of dragons to gain their strength. He became a Drake warrior and set his eye on the greatest prey of all, Bayle the Dread, progenitor of the Drakes, and the reason Dragon Communion was created. Driven by bottomless hunger and ambition, he journeyed to Bayle's roost at the top of the peak to challenge the dragon. He was outmatched. He shattered both his body and mind. The man was too angry to give up, however, and he crawled back up the fucking mountain. What are you going to do to that?
Dude, it's how many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
It's Will Smith's character in Austin Powers. I am still alive down here. I'm very badly burned.
He tries to stand up and he breaks his other leg. Ah! The bone is now protruding through the skin.
Right. Probably a pretty obvious reference to Captain Ahab. Hunted the great white whale Moby Dick.
Oh, yeah, that makes so much sense.
Both lose their legs and use it as motivation. Both use harpoons. And both are a little fucking nuts. Some internal files actually refer to him as Dragon Communion Ahab.
No shit.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense now.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so now we're all fired up because Igon has given us our halftime speech, and we're getting ready to pursue Bayle.
We're going up the mountain.
We're all pumped up now. But first, you got to get through Cinesax.
Oh, yes. Brother to Anal Sax.
He's an ancient dragon. They're an ancient dragon. She's an ancient dragon.
Mouth Sax?
With red lightning. Red lightning, coolest lightning.
It is probably the coolest lightning.
If there's a tier list of lightning.
Purple lightning is good lightning, too.
Yeah.
Blue lightning, not that cool.
Green, you think it would be cool? It's kind of low.
It's kind of low.
Mid.
It's very mid.
Yeah.
Pink lightning, I could fuck with that.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
But not as good as red lightning.
Red lightning means you're about to get fucked, which is great because this is completely skippable. You do not have to fight.
Black lightning, pretty good too.
That's gnarly.
It's crazy watching discharge of electrons, you know?
Yeah, dude. How does science work?
Static electricity, bro.
Love it. Yeah, you can skip Cinesax, which I might have done.
Yeah.
I might have looked at that and been like,
my first time with Cinesax, I was probably like 13 or 14.
Yeah. Very formative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A special kind.
You never forget your first Cinesax.
You never forget your first Cinesax.
The domain of Dragon's painting.
Yes. I know you're an art guy.
Yeah, big art guy. You can get a tool, the Rock Heart. Use while disrobed to turn one's human flesh into ancient dragon.
So this is how you turn into a dragon man.
Yeah, and I love that.
I'm into it.
The change cannot be undone except by death. Using the heart while already transformed temporarily boosts dragon communion incantations.
Yeah.
The last thing
I heard you like dragons, so I put a dragon on your dragon.
This is Exhibit's playstyle right here.
Yep, I pimped your dragon.
The last thing the partaker saw with human eyes was a sunset. Its colors faded and tarnished, a remote thing from eternity. Poetry. Absolute poetry.
Yeah.
If I could name one poet, I would right now, but I can't.
I was thinking too.
Who's the one that wrote Falling Up?
There is Walt Whitman.
Sure.
He's a poet.
Yeah, and then there's a girl that I can't remember.
Robert Thomas Frost. Then there's the guy that wrote Footprints about Jesus. There's an extra set of footprints on the beach, and it was Igon.
It was Igon.
He was pissed.
You could tell because there's only one footprint.
Yep.
Being in dragon form passively boosts all 4 status resistances by 50. This form gives a flat 10% to all damage negations before factoring in equipment and buffs. It does not provide any poise, however. When you use the heart while in dragon form, it gives you a plus 20% damage to dragon communion incantations for 60 seconds, which would be absolutely baller if used any of them.
Yeah, it's not you. That ain't
not
you.
me.
That ain't you.
I don't have that dragon in me. I just got that dog.
There is optional things you can do here with Florisax, the Dragon Communion Priestess. You can give her Tiolier's concoction. So
from way,
it could be recent, it could be way back, depending on how you're playing.
Yeah.
But Tiolier gives you an 1/8 of deep sleep, and if you visit Florisax at nighttime, she will be communing with Lord Placidusax like in a waking sleep. You can speak to her and give her Tiolier's concoction. Doing so will make her actually fall asleep. If you wait one full day, she'll wake up and express disappointment that she fell asleep, which was her one thing she vowed never to do again. She says, "This was meant for my lord. I'm such a craven. I'm a foul and lowly beast. Forgive me. My lord will no longer even look at me. I've fallen from grace. An old dragon no longer. Go on. Let me fucking die, dude."
Placidusax is setting his bar way too high.
Go easy on the lady, dude. She wasn't sleeping for you. But if you do this will affect reward you're going to get later on if you give that to her. But now it's time to go to the top of the mountain.
Welcome to the fucking show.
Welcome to the fucking show here. Bayle the Dread.
First thing I noticed is the lightning in the sky with this arena. One of the dopest fight arenas you're in.
Probably top 5 arenas in all of Elden Ring. One of the best of all. I also think Placidusax is a great one too.
That's
because
true.
of the lightning.
Yeah.
Probably not physically located too far from here back in the day.
Yeah.
But this is a sick arena.
Yeah. I think my favorite in the base game was Horaloo because it felt like an old wrestling match. And you're like right outside.
I think Bayle's design might be my favorite in the DLC.
It was funny.
It's either him or Divine Beast Dancing Lion, which Bayle, we've seen dragons. We've seen a billion fucking dragons in our lives.
You've never seen this dragon.
There's not new dragons.
Yeah.
This one with 2 stubby wings, missing a leg, and he like kind of half flies and crawls. Fucking gnarly.
Plus, imagine him with all of his appendages. Like, he's already a tough battle. like him at full strength would be damn near impossible. So it's just also factoring in that lore of the battle that happened with Placidusax. Like he's still a formidable foe now, but back then that dude must have been heavy hitting.
Yeah. I walked in early on in my first playthrough, and he came in and attacked me, and I died within like 5 seconds, and I just didn't come back for another like 5 hours. I'm like, nope,
I'm not ready.
This is scary. I'm in danger.
Yeah, it's funny because when we first started doing the Shadow of the Erd Tree episodes, when the DLC dropped, you asked me, like, did you find Bayle yet? And I had no idea who Bayle was.
Bayle's so sick.
And then as I started getting closer and like got to the Jagged Peak, and then all of a sudden dragons started popping up, I'm like, I bet you Bayle's a fucking dragon.
Yeah.
Which was a nice surprise because I was picturing, with the name Bayle, I thought it was going to be a person or like somebody you have to.
Because his name isn't Buttsax, it's Bayle. If I was Buttsax, I'm like, oh, it's a dragon.
Yeah, that the sax ruins it.
Yeah.
Surprise. Yeah, so we're going to fight Bayle. Two of Placidusax's.
That's a tough one to say.
That's a tough one. Two of Placidusax's heads can be found still clinging to the upside of Bayle's neck. He's wearing them as a medallion.
Or they bit him so hard that he ripped him off, but they never stopped biting him.
Oh, that's even worse.
They're both. It's gnarly.
When I saw them, I just figured it was like, yeah, this is my drip.
And now all of the lore speculation for the previous 3 years that said, where are Placidusax's other heads? Well, we know now.
Found them.
They're on Bayle's butt.
Now, you could be a super dick and not summon Igon.
Could you imagine someone so stupid and so hateful
that they're not going to bring the boy?
Someone that hates that much fun.
Yeah. Like, you want to summon Igon because when you summon Igon, I mean, you're fulfilling his storyline.
Yeah.
You need to do this. Igon will say, "Curse you, Bayle. I hereby vow you will rue this day." And I'm a little sick right now,
I was gonna say,
so there's some gravel in that voice.
But take what Tyler's saying and increase the volume by 1,000.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and scream.
No, that's okay.
Solid of scale you might be, foul dragon, but I will riddle you with holes your rotten hide with a hail of harpoons. Oh, there's the Ahab. Hail of harpoons. Who says that?
2 people.
With every last drop of my being. And there's not much drops left.
Dude, Igon, he's so fucking angry, dude. It's inspiration. It's inspiring. I hope to hate something that much someday. I'm very apathetic, especially as of late.
Bayle, I was doing some reading on Fextra Life, is one of the hardest, they say, enemies to fight in the base game or the DLC because he has one of the largest movesets, apparently.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he likes to mix it up on you. He's harder to read than other bosses, which I always found dragons were hard to read just based off of me target locking and getting disoriented all the time.
Yeah.
I was getting my ass kicked in this fight. You will have a better chance if you lock onto his head. If you stay locked onto the head, you get a better view of the body. And since he's not really flying up and around you at first,
Yeah.
it's easier to track him because I kept getting switched to like his leg or something.
And you really have no excuse not to get Igon. This isn't a summon outside of the arena, which then increases boss health and stats. It's summoned inside the arena, so it's not affecting how strong Bayle is.
Oh, really?
So it's the perfect kind of summon. It's like this and Horn Scent, I think, are 2 of the bigger examples.
It's just a homie.
Yeah. The only boss in the game that displays the text Legend Felled when defeated and does not drop a remembrance. Rather, he drops the Heart of Bayle, which functions similarly with some differences. Now, the Heart of Bayle, it's a biatrial heart of the Bayle of Dread. 2 atria, which means one of the upper 2 chambers that receives blood. So he has a weird heart, dotted with horn-like gravel stones and glistening with a deep red liquor. Gorge upon this at the grand altar of Dragon Communion to absorb Bayle's power, the purest form of communion, in the words of its priestess. I mean, communion was designed to eat this fucker's heart. And this is the first person that's actually going to do it. You're warned, though, even after being consumed, the throbbing heart of Bayle continues to resist its subjugation, never weakening. One day, the fire within will consume the very body and soul of its communion devourer. One day. I still like the fucking heart.
Yeah.
I know it's like when I see a shot of fucking, like a Three Wiseman shot, I know I shouldn't take it. I still take it.
Yeah, if there's a shot of Tully in front of me, it's gone.
Yeah.
And one day, the next day, you're going to be hungover.
You will regret this decision.
Yeah.
I already took 2. Yeah. Consuming the heart of Bayle will give you Bayle's Flame Lightning Incantation, which channels the form of the Dread Dragon in right arm to smash foes with an exposed talon bone, coursing with Flame Lightning, or the Bayle's Tyranny Incantation, which channels the form of the Dread Dragon to emit a mighty roar accompanied by a heatwave burst, causing violent eruptions of fire in the area. One last thing I wanted to say about Igon. Something glitched in my game on my recent playthrough. And after Bayle was done, Igon was still in the arena, and he was still cursing and like using incantations at nothing.
That's actually kind of...
I got a video of it because I'm like, it was a glitch, but it was that Bayle, even after the fight was done, his spirit didn't leave and it was still walking around just pissed off.
That's actually kind of cool.
It was really cool. Yeah, if you return to Igon, his dead body is still down there by the duel pit, and you'll get Egon's Bayle Baron. You get his bell bearing, which you can now buy his harpoons. You can get Egon's set, which is kind of shit armor because it's kind of all rags. But you can get Egon's great bow. It's fashioned from 2 dragon bones bound with a coarse rope, covered in gashes left by claws, imbued with Egon's obsession, embracing the power of Egon's harpoon, the unique skill of Egon's dragon hunt, usable on other crossbows, or other great bows, actually. You must summon Igon to obtain this. You won't get this otherwise. But we have one last stop.
Back at the Dragon Communion priestesses, you have a couple options. Option 1, you defeat Bayle without giving her Thiolie's concoction. Doing this, you get a key item, the Priestess Heart. Use while disrobed to turn one's human flesh into ancient dragon. The change cannot be undone except by death. Using this heart while already transformed temporarily boosts incantations of the capital's ancient dragon cult. The item must be used once to change into dragon form and then used again to activate the temporary damage buff, which is 7% damage negation across the board and 70 resistance. Boosts dragon cult incantations by 20%.
It's like the rock heart, but some different, subtle differences. More geared towards ancient dragon stuff.
And the weapon Flowerstone Gavel, hammer. The 4 petals and the flower's core are all sharp, ending in points, and are capable of dealing heavy damage to dragons. Scales with strength, dexterity, and arcane. Deals 30% bonus damage to dragons and 15% to ancient dragons. The unique skill Flower Dragon Bolt calls down the red lightning of the ancient dragons to strike a target, dealing lightning damage, and also temporarily reduces the target's lightning damage negation. Can be charged to increase its power. 23% decrease, 30% if fully charged. So that's if you do not give her Thiolie's concoction. If you do, before defeating Bayle, you'll get the incantation Dragon Bolt of Placidusax. Calls down red lightning to bolster the caster and nearby allies while enrobed with red lightning. All forms of damage negation, including physical, are increased. This also increases damage negation while guarding as an additional effect. There was a time when the priestess never knew love and thus never used this incantation herself. That's kind of scary.
Yeah. Never knew love.
That's sad, but then also like, here's this incantation. I've been too afraid to use it. Like,
I one time asked
dragon priestess.
I one time asked a girl if she wanted to have Placidusax.
How'd that go?
And she said, "No way."
For 70 seconds, all damage reduction buffed by 10%, guarded damage negation by 20%. I like that.
Not bad.
As a shield guy,
Yeah.
I like that. Confess to putting her to sleep.
Yeah.
Do you really want to?
I feel bad about it.
On second thought, I believe you. On second thought, I believe you do owe me something for this transgression. On a mere whim, you've stripped me of my one and only lord. As such, I require another, you. One day, may you become dragon whole, a lord of your own making. Lead me, and I will follow, my good lord. Not the outcome I was expecting.
She's pretty cool about it. And then you get her Spirit Ash for the ancient dragon Placidusax. Uses her own Dragon Bolt to increase all damage negation, including physical, for herself and nearby allies. So she buffs you as a Spirit Ash, which is always good. Strikes foes with the Flowerstone Gavel Dragon Bolt to reduce enemy lightning damage negation. Long ago, Placidusax assumed human form to share dragon communion with the world. Now she has acquired a human heart. And yeah, that's our time here on the Jagged Peak. One of the coolest, like, separate side areas. It does feel disconnected from the rest of the game in a pretty big way, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I did not expect Bayle to be as cool as he was, and all the lore implications moving up to it. We learned a lot about the origin of dragon communion. You get to meet a cool homie named Igor, or
Igon.
Egon.
You son of a
I keep
bitch.
saying Igor. It's because I've been listening to so much Tyler, the Creator, since Chromacopia came out.
You can't blame everything on Tyler, the Creator, dude.
I'm blaming this.
Yeah, and that's going to be all for today. Our next episode, we're going to be heading to the Abyssal Woods. But if you want access to all of the Elden Ring episodes early, they're on our Patreon. You can get them at patreon.com/hairofthedogcast, and access to our Discord, access to a lot of great things. Special thanks to Patreon executive producers Rykard Christianick, Malekith the Black Blade, Blackguard Big Brian Ward, Jordan Hoslow, Sorceress of Blood, Festering Fingerprint Phil Wright, Phil Just Red Bear Phil, Bellbearing Hunter Bryant Ross, Crucible Knight Kelly Gutowski, Justin Mellies, Murray the Impaler, and Imagine Ghost Flame Wagons. Special thanks to all of them.